What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, competitive games from tabletop to video games, and today we're showing a little bit of our daily routine when we're playing at a local event. So this was probably the best demonstration to get a real feel of what you're going to go through if you are planning on playing this specific deck. And one key note of it is that a lot of people are going to be reading your cards and definitely going to be delaying. So in today's video, we have our C.O.D deck versus rocks or Adamancipators, wherever you call them. Can't even pronounce that name. So I thought to make a fun activity out of it. Can you count how many times our opponent has to read our cards? If you can, definitely answer it in the comment. So we're going to also be considering thinking, but only thinking if they don't have an action. So if they are thinking, but they do have an interruption or an action, especially with a deck that actually make our opponent do specific actions that we want, then that won't be considered. But if they are just saying like thinking and wasting time, then technically they are actually just like reading all the cards. So we are going to include those ones. But before we begin, a friendly reminder as always to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel a lot and I do really appreciate it. So let's get right into it. So surprisingly, as always, we are starting first. And yes, a lot of these times these little like reading and like prolonging and just wasting time just actually end up stalling for the whole game. And yes, I know our combo is very long, but doing stuff like this is what extends it even further. And then people get mad like, oh, well, you've been playing for like 20 minutes. I'm like, yes, but like a good like 10 minutes of the time you were reading every single card. So there's that. So get used to it. So we have a Naya, Quick Lawns, Darkest Diabolus, Therion, and also Zor. Our opponent has this rock guy, Imperm, another rock guy, and also the Spirit guy. Really love this card. Really, really cool, okay? And we're starting first because we're good at this game. So main phase, Quick Lawns, go, and we're going to special summon. And look at that, we're going to go and link it into Striker. So then use the effects. So then go and add the boot sectalons. Now we're going to go and use Naya. So look at that. So he writes reading. So that is the first reading. Okay. The next at a time I won't tell you guys. So keep track. So there we go. So we go send the curse, then we're going to go and use the curse to go and tribute, spell summon the curse. Then it's going to be curse chain link 1, Darkest Diabolus chain link 2. So go spell summon, then spell summon. Ooh, look at that. So yes, so it's being quite fast at the moment over here, but no, it was a very long game. Felt really long. So activate King of the Pharaoh Imp, use the effect. Ooh, look at that. Okay. So go and use Darkest Diabolus now, so our opponent has to pick a card at the top of the bottom of the deck. So there we go, hand loop for 1 already. So now Zombie Vampire. Ooh, now it's a thinking. Plot twist. So we're going to send, and we send amazing. So we got the tier, the snake, and also Starly. So spell summon Starly. Now we're going to trigger. So we're going to go snake 1, tier 2. So we're going to go return the King of the Pharaoh Imp to spell summon a Mud Dragon, and then spell summon a snake. Now we're going to use Starly to go and add ourselves a nice little white. And then we're going to go and overlay for another King of the Pharaoh Imp. And this time we're going to use the effect to go and add a Nunu because we have not seen Nunu all day. So use Nunu. And then we're going to go and send a Queen since we already have a Zora in the graveyard. Then we're going to go and banish a Striker for a white. Then spell summon the Therion. And no, we are not scared of Nib because of what we have. So we're all set. Okay, and also I do really like doing the Zora play because if they didn't nib us, at least we could trigger Zora right away and it'll be all set. Okay, so then we get Saruja. Okay, so it's going to be Saruja 1, white 2. So we're going to go add, and Zora's supposed to be in the grave. And then we're going to draw. Ooh, not that good. 2 Nunus. Ugh. So we're going to return both Nunus and return boot. And then use Saruja to go spell summon Tracer. And then we're going to banish a white for black. And then we're going to go and make it Pitsy. And then use Pitsy's effect to spell summon another Tracer. Cool, we have 2 tuners now. So now we're going to go and link both of them for a Herodic Seal. Then we're going to go and use Water Lily to send a King, spell summon the Zora. And now we're going to go and use Nunu effect to spell summon. But then he's thinking, yeah, okay. Nice. Yes. And yes, this is how it is at every tournament, every round. Okay. So we're going to go use the effect. So everything's all okay. And then we're going to go on tribute for king. And I'll trigger seal to go and supposed summon a nice little star leash. And then we're going to go and synchro them for omega. Use omega now. Okay. So he's shuffling, asked me to roll, and then told him to stop shuffling. Then I can roll. That would kind of help. There we go. Okay, banish that. Now we're going to use at least to get back the VaughnGear, and then we're going to use VaughnGear's effect. So we're going to go banish 3 dark, and then go and shuffle, and then surprisingly, I don't know what he's doing, but that's not my die. So I thought that was my die roll, but it wasn't. So re-rolling twice for mine, and there you go, 6. Because I always do 1 at the main deck, and then 6 all the way at the extra deck all the time. So now we're going to use the queens to tribute Zora and then use Zora's effect, because what we're going to do, believe it or not, is we're going to get our Savage Dragon out and then get our Lancelot after hand looping our opponent one more time, because our opponent is going to have to draw, send, and then king is going to trigger. So we're going to be doing exactly that. And yes, Zora is mandatory for my opponent. And he paused game, resume game. So use queen and king. So king is going to send. And then we're going to go and, oh, look at that. And then he left the duel. Yep, and that's it for a game. And if you guys counted 7 times, then you are correct. Yes, it was 7 times in total. And if we check the log of how long this game was, so game 1, 16 minutes and 11 seconds. So first game, imagine that. So take quite a bit of time, and we have a lot more monsters, so that would have been a very long match. And also, I know this could actually make a decent board, so if we're unable to break it and we're comboing, then we're going to have to go to game 3 and we start this once again. But yeah, this gives you a solid example of how rounds usually are every single tournament. There is definitely a lot of people that's going to be winning, because it's not even considered a rogue deck. It's not even on the surface or even acknowledged. So a lot of people are not familiar with these cards are, and to make sure to not have any mistake or anything, they definitely want to reread it. But the biggest issue that you saw that a lot of people do is when they're like thinking and they're doing all that, it's like if you have no plays, no nothing, okay, stop stalling, stop pretending, because combo decks nowadays are meant to play around like interruptions or play through interruptions. So your bluffing is not doing anything. It's not like 2018 that everyone was scared of like Nib and all that. Now if you're doing that, it doesn't matter, because all the heavy combo decks are now playing through that. So you just doing this tactic as like a bluff is just wasting time. And especially if you're just critting like this, then you just wasted my time completely. It's like, there you go. I know some of you will be like, oh, you should have like blocked the name or something, you know, stuff like that. It's like, nah, you wasted my time, so I don't care. You might call this gaslighting, I don't care. It's like, this guy deserved it. And that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And if you didn't, then, I don't know, comment down below. But if you want a sneak peek of future products that we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.